Hello everyone. Yes, I know it's not Friday, but I am doing this live, so if you catch it live, great. If not, I'm going to schedule it after I'm done, and hopefully it will show up on Friday morning. We will see. If you're out there, give me a little hi. Give me just a sec to get the video on my laptop so I can make sure I stay in the camera view. There we are. Perfect. Okay. So today I'm going to show you something a little different. Now, when I was doing my open house, I had this set of cards from the card kit, and one of the customers said this would be cute if you take that off and did something different, like for a guy card. So I really like this frame, and I wanted to show you a couple ways of using it, and that's where my inspiration came from. So this stamp and thin cut you can only get in this card kit. So you get all of this. You get enough paper to do, I believe it is, let me just check, 16 cards, so it's 4 of each. So there's enough paper, cardstock, and basically, let me make sure. These items down here are the additional supplies should you want to make them exactly how these are. And actually, I have this one right here, which looks a whole lot prettier. So if you like them at all in the catalog, you're going to love them when you see them and actually do them. And I'll hold this one up so you can hopefully see all those little, it's the platinum stickles that's on here, and it's just so pretty. And these are the gold gems that have the sparkles in them. And this is some of that paper that you get in the card kit. So you get the cardstock and the pattern paper, and enough about that. So I will be using this one here and this thin cut, those two thin cuts. And then the other stamp set is from Crisp Air, and it's the card making for Crisp Air, which is Z8030. Oops, I'm losing my all-purpose mat. I didn't need a lot of it, so let me just make sure that doesn't go anywhere on you. Again, Crisp Air card stamping, so the card making one. Z8030 if you want it with the thin cuts. And if you just want the stamp set, it's D2106. So it's nice that they give you an option. Okay, so let me get that out of the way. And I wanted to show you a few tricks of what I did. So this is the card that I did. I know it looks pretty far from this one, but this is what gave me the idea, and this is what I ended up with. And now I'm going to do a version to show you how I did some of these techniques in more of a girl card. So right here you can see this has a thin cut and a flower. Well, all I did is cut it out of the paper that was the pattern paper that has squares. Let me get a full sheet of it. Hold on. I'm so sorry. It was this one right here. And this is the other side. Okay? So I was just cutting it up and playing with it, and like I said, the little flowers, I just used the thin cut. Make sure I'm on camera. I just used the thin cut and cut it out. So you don't have to stamp it. I could, I guess, over the top of it. I don't know. That might be something too. Okay, so we will stick this up here. Hopefully you can still see some of it. And this is the one we're already done with. So this is the one we're working on. I already told you how I did this. So basically I just took, and this one I just took a piece of it. This one here, I just took 2 squares and put together the squares I wanted, okay? And then I cut a piece from the back, use the back for that, okay? So we've got that, we've got that. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, I've got these this polka dot because I thought, well, maybe that would be better. But I didn't really care for it, just, you know, stamping the polka dot. And then I tried it, stamping like second and third generation to get like more of a polka dot, and I really didn't like that. So, didn't like that so much. Okay? Alright, so we'll take that one out of the rotation. So I've got my hello. Oops. I need one more. Let me grab the words and a block. Okay. And I've got the solid and I've got the pattern. Okay, and it's just tone on tone stamping. Basically, I'm using this two different stamps, same ink. Okay, so I want to show you that first. I want to show you a couple of ideas. So this one, you can see it's just over the edge, a tiny bit there, and I hid it under here. So I thought, oh, there's got to be a better way of doing that. So what I wanted to show you, let me see. I know I need a blue one. So the colors I've got here are sapphire, paprika, pine, and mocha. And I'll hold those up a little closer. If you want to write them down or stop the video. There you are. Okay. There. All right. So I'm going to do the blue one first. And instead of doing the solid and then put this on, because at first I was just going to use the solid, I'm going to start with the flower part, the leaf part, if you will. And I like to pull this off of the white on white. It's hard to see where your outline is. So I always pull it over to another spot. Oh, sorry if my head gets in the way. And I'm just going to straight down, straight up. And take that off, like so. Let's clean that off. And then I'm going to take this one, and I'm just going to stamp over the top of it. And hopefully I can line that up better. Okay. Give that a second because it's a solid stamp. Wow. It'll lighten up. I hope. It'll lighten up. Yes, it will lighten up. Alright, the next one I'm going to do, let's see. Let's get all these pieces out of the way so we can see what we're doing here. The next, so I'm going to put that blue one, I thought I'd put the blue one up here. And I need a color down here, and I think I'll use paprika. Or was I going to use mocha? Okay, I'm thinking here. I have a couple of them, so maybe I'll do mocha too. I hadn't really thought this through too much, so we'll try this again. And this time, I think what I'll do is I'll do a second generation in this. So I can't remember. I've got a little piece of scratch paper underneath my thingy here. And that is easier to see, but I don't think that's right. No, but that's not too bad, but it's definitely not what I did there. So see all these different looks that you can get? And maybe I'll just rock and roll it and give it a little bit more shade. So basically how I did that was I just took the stamp and I rolled the outer edges. I rolled the outer edges. Hopefully you can see that. Let me see. Is that any better? So it's just the outer edges. So now if I stamp with it, it's just the outer edges. Okay? So that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. So let's do that again with the blue one. This is just how I roll. So let's do the blue. This is how you experiment. Not that blue didn't come out. It's not very centered. I don't like that one. Let's do it again. Sorry, I have to get my head in the way probably. Okay, that's better. That looks better. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing again like we did on here, and I'll just use this as my doing second generation. Oops, didn't quite have enough room. My block was hitting the edge of my paper here. Okay, so that's pretty, and we'll just rock and roll it again. And I could have, when I got the second, here's another thing you can do, which is usually better. You ink it up, stamp it off, and then roll it, and then stamp it all at once. So you get that rock and roll effect, like so. Okay? Alright, now, so that looks better than that. There we go. There we go. Alright, now we need our little hello. What color should we do the hello? Is anybody out there today? I don't know. Can't tell. My phone's always up in a holder up above me, and so I can't tell. Half the time I can't see it, so. If you are, hello, I'll get back to you. Okay, so now we need to figure out what color we want this hello to be. And maybe I will do it in the mocha, because there's a little bit of mocha in here. Let's try it in the mocha. Could do green as well. I might do a green one and a mocha one, and we'll see which one I like better. So remember, this is going to be a solid stamp, so you want to make sure that it's good and inked up, and you also want to make sure that you leave it down long enough to transfer all that ink. There we go. Take that off. And I also want to do, I think, a pine. And see how I'm just setting it to see if I like it? Just kind of setting stuff around to see what I might like. Because I thought the little "you are the best," hello, you're the best, I would do the same color. Well, I did different colors there. Never mind. Alright, so I think I'm going to do a green one, just to pull a little bit of green in. And there again, the reason why I'm doing the different colors is to tie in all of these colors, to have a couple of spots of each color. So if I do that, it's back here, and it's a little bit there, and it's on here, so that gives me enough of that. But let's just do a green one so we have some choices, don't you know? Again, solid stamp, let it do its thing. Doesn't mean you have to push down really hard, because we've got those letters in there that we don't want to smush out. See how nice that is? So there's an option for us. And now, what color to do the rest of our words? I got two options. I think I might try the paprika. So I think that might be pretty. Again, a solid stamp, so you want to really ink it up. And let it transfer all that ink. Thank you. Oh, I think that's pretty. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that one. And we just have to decide which one of those we want. And you hear me over here cleaning off my stamps as I go. Yeah, I think I like that really nicely. And let's see. Well, and I have this little white strip, so that way, because this doesn't, I mean, it looks okay, it meets up, it matches up, because that's how I cut it out, which isn't too bad. But in case, let me get rid of all this, in case I wanted to spread this out a little bit, you know, make a little nice little border on each side, then I need to split the difference. And I thought if I needed another color, you know, if I needed to pull in another one of the colors, then that gives me a strip to put something on, or leave it white. So I'm just what I call dry fitting it. I'm just laying it on there to see what it looks like. So I like that. Somewhat. I think I like the green. Yes, I think I like the green. So put that extra one over there. We got a couple of flowers here to decide on. And, okay, so leave that white or do some of, I was thinking of doing this along the edge again. And then what color? Maybe this color, paprika. Let's see what that looks like. Can always turn it over to the back side if I don't like it. All right. So, just going to put this over here, and I am just going to go down and make my own zip strip. There we go. Oh, I like that. That's pretty. I know you can't hear me, you can't talk back to me. So I like that. All right, so this little tiny piece, if I can get it turned over to the side I want, is going to go in here. You can see it right here. Make sure I'm staying in focus. The camera's a little bit. So it's just those little papers right there. So all I did was I took a piece of my scrap and just cut it like so, okay? And then I'm gonna cut it in half or thereabouts. And that I will use to stick into there. So let's get some stuff on here. Oh, let's do one more thing. Let's give this a little bit of texture as well. Wanted to show you how I went around this piece. So basically I just started with as much as I could get in there, and then I just kind of went around and added some more. And get as much, leave the little corners, because you can go back and pick those up, like so. There's one little corner over here, like so. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Alright, so that's got that done. So let's start putting some of this together. I'm going to start with these two pieces. I'm just going to put some of my Tombow Air Touch, I believe is what it's called. Okay, so now I'm going to line this up on my grid paper. And I want to, and I just kind of lightly put it down. You don't put it down really hard at first. You don't squish it down a lot. So I'm looking at these two edges and then glancing over at that third one. That's pretty good. And now I want to make sure, one, that I get it going the right way, but I want to kind of make sure that I keep it level with that one. And then I put it down when I get it where I want it. Now we'll put this piece on, our little makeshift 1/2-inch zip strip. And again, I'm going to line it up, because what I can do is I can go along this line here, put that down, and then match this line up when I get to the other side. So there we go. Okay, I'm going to put this on next. Again, I don't know, I'm a perfectionist, so I like to line things up. Alright, I don't know if I like that. See, I just barely put it down, so I have time to wiggle it around. And I'm even going to set my little frame in there so I can make sure I like it. Oh, well, that was good. Then I moved it. Okay. That's pretty good. All right. So I got that on. And now I wanted to show you a couple different ways that you could, as soon as I find my sponge dauber, what did I do with it? Sorry. Well, I'm not finding it, so I will grab another one. Sorry, I'm rummaging, aren't I? Well, I need to find a sponge dauber. Okay. I said it, you know. Oh, that was my mouse. That poor mouse. I'm surprised it still works. I have dropped it so many times. I found my sponge dauber. There we go. All right. So this is really, really fine. And I tried the quick glue, and it just dried too fast before I could get around because it's so tiny. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. One, you need your all-purpose mat or a piece of wax paper if you don't have one. And you can go around like so and put this dotto glue on. The other thing you can do is put on your mat a chunk of glue or a drop of glue and take your sponge dauber, get it on there, and then ink it up like so. Okay? And then we've got ink back there, and we've got glue, and I like the glue a little better than the Tombow for a couple of reasons. One, you have a little bit more wiggle room, okay, to get it on. And two, see how I've got a little bit of glue there? Now that's really easy to pick up with your Right and Rub eraser. So you just gently, don't go at it really hard. And you can just pick up that extra glue with your eraser. And in these little circles, if there's still some, let me find it. If there's still some in these little circles, you can take your piercing tool and kind of move it around and get rid of it. Tuck it in, if you will, or lift it off of the page. And that glue is nice because it just balls up and rubs off, okay? So the glue with a sponge dauber or the mono adhesive on your mat works nicely, okay? All right, so we got those two pieces on. This piece I'll put next. Oops, sorry. Trying to make sure I stay in camera. Stay up here enough. Oops. And I dropped my mouse, so then it made my whole table thing disappear. Alright, so I want to put this right about there. And my hello, I've got my two little pieces. And remember it was cut where the brown is in the middle? So I'm going to take one of those and put the brown on the other side. So I see a little bit of that brown. So this already punched a hole for me, and if I did it right, yay. It's just right, and I want to put, before I get too much further, I want to put a little bit of adhesive back there so I can turn this around. Now the one thing you do have to watch is that you get it in far enough and glue it down. And then I'm going to take the other piece, really tiny, and I'm going to stick it behind. Put it through the hole, maybe. Alright, it doesn't seem to want to go, so I'm just going to trim it off a tiny bit so it will start through that hole. And pull that through. And I want it to be just slightly longer on the back. There we go. So I'll tape that down, and then I'm going to take just a angle little bit off of each one of these. Really don't want to do that one because I'm going to cut off part of the, let's do it this way so I don't lose that little bit of brown. Okay, there we go. I'm going to add some extra adhesive on that. Again, because I want to put it on those little ties, I'm going to pull it over to my mat, and it just rubs off your mat. So I've got that ready. I'll get my 2 squares ready, or my 2 oblong. My 2 eggs. They look like eggs to me. Wouldn't that be a pretty Easter egg collage? Alright, so this one I'm just going to set upside down, and I kind of just split the difference. I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to put this one about here. And I'm just kind of lining up on either side to make sure that they're somewhat even. Let's add a little bit more tape on the back of there. Make sure it stays stuck. And put that into there. Again, if you're keeping your card level. There we go. And then I think I'll raise up the little flowers. So again, now is the time to see what you want to do with these little flowers. I kind of like this one because it looks more like a rose. Like so. Let's see how I'm not sure where I want to put it. Maybe over here. And maybe I'll group this one behind. It kind of looks like 2 or 1. I think I like 1. Okay, so I'm going to give it a little bit of foam tape onto there. Pull that off. And we'll add that. And then I have some of these pretties. These are my favorite, I think, out of the catalog for accessories, and it is the Crisp Air Dots. The number is X7284E. And I love that there's all these different colors. I've been using them on all 3 paper packs in the new catalog, and the colors are so versatile, they just work. And another tip that I want to give you is, you know, you can just kind of move it around on the sheet and see what you want. Now I know I want to put a little heart on top of there like I did this one. And I want the orange heart, which I think I need an itty bitty from here. I want a tiny one. And there's a ton of them on here. So I'm going to take this one off and put it on there. Do I want that color? Or do I want a pink one? Let's see. Yeah, I think I want that color. Because it is the color that is here, 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 and here. So that blends easily. So now to put something over here, kind of like we did here, 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 here. I think I want to do some dots again, like I did here, and I've got blue a couple of times. I've got plenty of the orange, so I really don't want to use this nectarine color again. And I don't really want to do the green. I wish I had some white ones. Blue, green, or the orange. Maybe I will use the orange. Maybe I'll just change them up a little bit. I like to nestle them in between stuff, around stuff. I don't think I want a bigger heart. I think I want another circle one. So you could put, so what I'm doing is I'm triangling these 3 dots. This one, with this one, And then like here would be a triangle. You could go here and make a long triangle. I could go clear over here and kind of make a weird triangle. Could go here, kind of like it there. And that makes a nice triangle. Okay. Or here, maybe here. Let's do that one. There. And it's up to you. You can add as much or as little as you want. And that is what I have for you for today, if you caught it today. And if not, tomorrow. I hope you enjoy it and have fun. I'll be with my Close to My Heart sisters, making more things for you. And as always, thank you so much for shopping with me and keeping my business alive. Bye now.